it's just a fantastic afternoon. Hearing firsthand from the drivers, from the engineers, from the pit crew, from people who were sort of broadly around the whole piece going at the same time, it's first-hand knowledge. So it's not like just sort of hearing it second or third. This is from the people who were there, living the moment and recreating it for us. So yeah, no, really exciting, really exhilarating, fascinating stories, hearing those little details that you wouldn't get anywhere else. Absolutely fantastic.
I really enjoyed all the little stories that they don't get written down in books because they're not about the whole thing. They're just about the little moments that make it really happen.
Just the whole story of '88 and leading up to it was amazing, and certainly the inside story from Mike Wiles as well in particular, because I used to go to Le Mans, my first time was 1983, and the guy that I knew that showed us all around the cars was Mike Wiles, who took pity on me as a teenager on a little Gorelli moped when I had work experience going up to Brands Hatch and was soaking wet and couldn't get up Rootham Hill. So I've known Mike since I was 16 and getting that whole story, and we shared some Group C cars together racing in the historic series for a couple of years as well. So the whole inside story, and from Andy as well, is just amazing.
I have the honour of signalling this car with a pit board and timing it for the endurance for the whole of the race. I did this one in '88, I did 1990, and I did the winning car then. I did in '91 the car that came second, and in '92 I did Daytona with another TWR Jaguar that came second. So yes, very strong association with this car. I only ever saw the other side of it because that was the way we were set up in the signalling pits down at Mulsanne. But great memories of that weekend, obviously, and the time I've had working with TWR, either at Le Mans or on the one occasion at Daytona.
Just fabulous, just the team ethos, how everybody's pulled together to pull a win out the bag, and what it meant to the Jaguar team when they got back to the factory. They brought the cars back. I think they were saying they brought the cars back on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, and just the whole lift it gave to everybody in the company, right from the floor sweepers, right up to the senior management team. It's a real triumph of everybody coming together.
I started working for Tom in February '86 as a lowly machinist. I'm a toolmaker by trade, and I started as a machinist. I always aspired to become a mechanic, and in latter years I became a mechanic at TWR. I worked for Tom for 12 years. I stayed a machinist until '88, and then an opportunity. I went to America. I had a sister in America, and while I was there, I went to Valparaiso, the home of TWR Inc., and just sort of met all the team, met Tony Dow, made myself useful. He said, "Oh, we're going to a race at the weekend. Would you like to come?" I said, "Oh, that'd be great." So I went to Sears Point. I made myself handy, made myself useful, and he offered me a job. So I thought, great. So I went back. Team manager wasn't very impressed, Mr. Silman. He said, "Well, go and do what you got to do." So I went to America. I moved out there at the end of '88. I worked there all of '89, and then I got an offer of a job back on the Silk Cut team as a mechanic, which is really what I wanted to do. And then I worked as a mechanic right through to '98, doing all the various programs, 220, the Volvo touring car, and thoroughly enjoyed my time at TWR.
What stood out to me are the driver, Andy, talking some of the things that happened on the track and the way they got around things. Just things you just wouldn't know without listening to these chaps, and what went on in the day.
I think it was the point about the Mulsanne and the things that are going through their minds. So I think Andy was talking about that sort of, it was about sort of 50 seconds of sort of just what ifs. What if that light hasn't come on? Is it working? And just all of those sort of what ifs of and those demons that are playing whilst you're then sort of also trying to drive in pitch black darkness where you can't see what's coming. And I think it's those sorts of things that, as a lay person who's never ever experienced or done that, it sort of brings it alive of just how on the edge they really are, and it's great to hear firsthand.
Well, of course, the '88 Le Mans win is very special. It's closely followed by my association with the XJR 14 with Ross Brawn and the like, which was really a culmination of all those things. So that was great. But yeah, that whole Le Mans thing, because I'd not done any motor racing up until then. So I'm a year and a half into it, and here I am at Le Mans on the winning team. And my role during the race was as a tyre guy. There was myself and another guy, and we had to be aware of every car, the puncture set, the wets, the inters, the next set on the car, and we used ovens in those days to preheat the tyres. So I lost half a stone during the race. We just didn't stop. And I remember Rod mentioned earlier, we went to work at 7:30, we did the race, we went out in the evening, we partied. I think I was up for 44 hours that day. Amazing, but great memories.
So I went to the first Group C race in 82, 84 when the XJR5s were there with Julius, but 86, the first year they went as the Silk Cut cars, was amazing. And we went, a whole group of us, I think 3 different cars, and camped on the infield by the Dunlop Bridge in those days and saw the night practices, and just the whole British, the crowds and the British enthusiasm was fantastic. And we will be back, and we will be back. And third time I was there as well, when we all were cheering on top of the buildings with the 1, 2, 3 over the line.
So I have the immense privilege of owning a road-going recreation, I would say, of mostly an XJR9. And my dad built it. It's somehow road legal. And I love it. He unfortunately passed away a few years ago, so now it's hopefully under my protection. And I use it not as often as I'd like to, but when I do use it, you just can't get the smile off your face. It is so much fun. It's an homage to the car behind me. That was the thing that started it all. My dad was there at Le Mans in 1988. He saw the cars win and thought, well, I want one of them. Could hardly go and buy one, so he made one. And now I'm in the incredibly fortunate position of having that car and being able to look at it and use it and drive it and hopefully bring it to other people and allow everyone else to enjoy it too.
Something is, we're lucky enough to have the 2 green cars from 85 and the 86 Le Mans car, which is the only race it ever did. And we're also lucky enough to have the 87 World Championship car. And funnily enough, the 5 cars entered at Le Mans 88, the 2 non-finishers are the 87 and 88 championship winning cars. So they didn't finish, but I was lucky enough to drive the XJR8 at Le Mans at the Classic in 22. And the sound of that V12 engine down the Mulsanne, and it was just at dusk coming out through Arnage and out towards the Porsche curves, and it was sort of the completion of a lifetime, never believing that could be possible. But they're such an iconic car, a Silk Cut Jaguar and Jaguar in general. As you said, 250,000 people there in 88, and I don't think Le Mans ever had a bigger British sort of success story, if you like, where just so many people been there and so much passion that was there, with so many people that still go dewy-eyed to it today, like 38 years later. It's ridiculous. I can't wait till the 40th celebrations coming up in 2 years' time.